Thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs. Today, I'll be showing you how to do a quick paint job on our Spectre Miniatures Insurgents kill team. So while I'm painting this guy, I'll be painting the other squad mates in the background. But to go over what colors I'm going to use, remember the idea is to get this whole squad done in a day. So, to paint this guy, primed him Chaos Black. I used P3's Hammerfall Khaki, Army Painter's Desert Yellow, Kobold Skin, Matte Black, and Skeleton Bone. And then from the Citadel line by Games Workshop, Stirland Mud, Nuln Oil, Reikland Fleshshade, and Bugmans Glow. The Bugmans Glow is just to paint the rim. You can paint whatever color you want there. But let's go ahead and get started painting the squad. Now to start, I've primed my guy Games Workshop's Mechanicus Black, but there's plenty of black spray paints out there that will work. You don't have to use the most expensive one you could find, but next job I'm going to do is I'm going to texture the base. I'm going to use some Stirland Mud. You don't have to use Stirland Mud, you know, a little Elmer's or PVA glue and some sand or kitty litter will do just fine. Just something to blend in the model to the base, because the Spectre miniatures come with like this little metal stand that they're on, so I use green stuff to kind of blend it into the 25 millimeter bases I like to mount my ultra modern figures to. So I just put a little coat and I like to swirl it around to hide the texture marks, give it a more organic look here. Now that our base is nice and dry, I'm going to take some P3 Hammerfall Khaki. So it's a darker khaki color. That's what I'm after here. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to do everything but his cap and his armor vest there. And if we get it on the ground, that's alright. We're going to do that a different color. So this will include his hands, weapon system, his face. I did this way, I primed him black because I knew the Hammerfall Khaki could cover the black, and a lot of the armor vest is tucked away for most of the squads, so doing interior pieces is always a little bit trickier. Now we're going to use some Army Painter Desert Yellow. I've got that in my palette, and I am going to paint the weapon system color. Now I'm going to do his skin tones. I'm going to start off with some Kobold Skin from Army Painter. And we're just going to cut a nice line around the top of the beanie, making sure not to touch the uniform. I'm going to do his hands. If you wanted, you could actually just paint it as if his hands were wearing gloves and make them black. But I decided not to go that route. Now we're going to take our Army Painter Matte Black. And the purpose here is just in case we tipped anything the wrong way, we got to touch it up to be black again. We'll do that. And we're also, all these terrorist models in this set have beards, and they have little headset mics. So we'll trace out the headset mic, and we'll put in the beard. We'll make sure everything is flush and true. Sometimes fingers rub off the black primer, especially on the middle ones. Now we're about to apply some liquid talent, or as I know it, Nuln Oil. Love using washes. And we're going to take a brush we've messed up, wet it a little bit, and we'll just start slopping some of this on. This will tone down, just darken up the skin, tone it down some, get into the grooves of the rifle, and I like what it does to the khaki. Of course, once we apply it, especially as liberally as I do, we have to leave it alone for a while. Alright, so we'll let that dry, and then we'll be back. Everything seems dried out. We'll take some skeleton bone from Army Painter, and I'll just go ahead and squeeze a bunch on the base, and we'll just start pushing around carefully, though, around the boots. Everything started drying up. I'm going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. I'm going to give it a good shake here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my sharper brushes here, and I'm just going to the exposed skin parts. And this gives him that ruddy complexion I was looking for. So he's been out in the sun and the dust. Okay, now I'm going to go back to one of my sloppy brushes here, and right over the skeleton bone. I actually based this off of some photos of some terrain I saw in the Syria, Kurdistan, Iraq, Iran border area. So that was just my general Middle East terrain. So there we go. Now we're going to let that dry. So we can see everything is dried up here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go back to using the skeleton bone. There it is. So this paint here, that's what we did the base in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another dry brushing here, and I'm going to use my small dry brush. And the idea is I'm going to take a little bit of the skeleton bone. I'm going to wipe most of it off, and then I'm going to take the parts of the model that look like they get the most light on the khaki, and those are going to get the first brushes, and that will take most of the paint that I didn't rub off on the paper. I want to do the black also, a couple light touches. It'd be best if I got it on the camera. I want to work so it catches the edges, just one pass. See, I also caught the mic there, so now the mic stands out. Get these ammo packs. We'll do the front of him. So this dry brushing the skeleton bone over him at this stage, what that allows us to do is kind of tie the base into the khaki and also bring out some of the highlights here. Let's get a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to go back to the desert yellow. And where is my brush? Ah, there it is. I'm going to use my teeny tiny brush, and I'm going to take the desert yellow, and I'm going to just do it on the ridge lines that would be up facing the sun or whatever light source is going on. And this will, get rid of whatever skeleton bone might have caught his weapon system. But it also just punches up the weapon there. A little more contrast. So we can see our guy is done. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Bugmans Glow. Now this is kind of optional because not everyone paints the rims same color I do. But at a painting competition I got judged because the rim wasn't different from the base color. Okay. So I'm just going to take some Bugmans Glow and run it around base here. Want nice, thick, but nice, smooth coats. So it covers and kind of like candy coat it. And there you have it. So I was able to do a squad of these guys in a day. So it's looking good. Alright, well, thank you for joining us at Miniature Wargaming Labs. We'll see you next time.